Welcome, everyone. Okay, today we are tackling a grammar point that, it trips up a lot of English learners. I'm talking about the future perfect tense. Now, it sounds super complicated, right? But I promise you, by the end of this little explainer, you will have mastered it. Ha, see what I did there?
So, let's just kick things off with a question that actually uses this tense. Think about this. What will you have achieved by this time next year? Notice it's not asking what you will be doing. It's asking what will be done, finished, completed before that point. It's kind of like looking back from the future. And that's really the key idea we're going to unpack.
Okay, so here's our game plan. It's simple. First, we'll talk about why this tense can be so confusing. Then, I'll give you the simple secret formula. After that, we'll cover its two main uses, see how it stacks up against other future tenses, and then, you guessed it, we'll practice.
All right, first things first, the tense that confuses. Let's just address the elephant in the room, shall we? The name itself sounds like a contradiction. Future and perfect, which means completed. How on earth can something in the future already be complete? It's a good question. And look, if you're confused, you are definitely not alone. Our sources confirm that this tense is, well, it's a known head-scratcher. You might not hear it every single day in casual chat, but, and this is a big but, it is incredibly useful when you're talking about goals, deadlines, and achievements. That's why it's so worth getting a handle on.
So here's the absolute key. With this tense, you're basically time traveling in your mind. Imagine you're standing in the future. Let's say it's next Friday. From that point, you're looking back at an action that's already finished. The report, it's done. The project, already complete.
This timeline here shows it perfectly. So you've got now, which is, well, now, and then way over there you have a future deadline, maybe by Friday. The future perfect action is the thing that happens in between those 2 points. The most important thing is that the action is finished before you hit that deadline. Okay, moving on. Let's get to the simple secret formula. And honestly, this is the best part because once you see the structure, you'll realize it's one of the easiest, most consistent tenses in English. No exceptions, just one simple key.
And here it is. This is the magic key right here. Subject plus will have plus the past participle. It never, ever changes. I don't care if it's I, you, he, she, they, a whole group of people. It's always will have, and then that third form of the verb, like eaten, seen, finished.
And check this out. Look how easy it is to change things up. For a positive, it's I will have finished. To make it negative, just change will to won't. I won't have finished. Easy. Want to ask a question? Just pop will to the very front. Will you have finished? The have finished part, it just stays put. It's that simple.
All right, you've got the formula down. Now for the really important part. Its two key uses. Seriously, getting the hang of this distinction between a finished action and a continued state, this is what's going to make you sound really, really fluent.
So this is a really cool distinction from our sources. The type of verb you use can totally change the meaning. If you use an action verb, like cook or finish, it means the action will be totally done, over. But if you use a state of verb, one that describes a state, like be or no, it means that state just continues right up to that point in the future. Let's look at some examples to make this crystal clear. If I say, when you arrive, I will have cooked lunch, that means the cooking is over. Food's on the table. But look at this one. Next year, we will have known each other for 10 years. That doesn't mean we stop knowing each other. It just means we've hit that 10-year milestone, and the knowing, well, that keeps going. It's a really subtle but super important difference.
Okay, to make sure this really sticks, it's time for a future tense face-off. We're going to put the future perfect up against another tense that people often mix it up with, so you can avoid those common mistakes.
So, the classic showdown is between future simple and future perfect. I will finish my homework tomorrow. That's just a plan, a promise. But when you say, I will have finished my homework by tomorrow, see the difference? You're adding a deadline. You're guaranteeing it'll be done before that time. That little word by is your biggest clue.
And, of course, there are a few common traps to watch out for. First, you absolutely cannot forget the word have. It's not I will finished, it's I will have finished. Second, you got to use the right verb form. It's she will have gone, not she will have went. And last, you can't sneak in the present perfect. It has to be will have.
Okay, you've seen the theory, you've got the formula, you know what mistakes to avoid, so now let's put it to the test. Time to put what you've learned into practice. Okay, have a look at this sentence. How would you fill in that blank using the future perfect? The deadline is by September, the verb is finish. Just think back to that simple formula we talked about. And there it is. Our team will have finished. Subject will have past participle. You got it. That's perfect. Okay, let's do one more, just to lock it in.
All right, next one. So in this scenario, the action, leaving the house, is going to be complete before he turns 20. That's the deadline. So, how do we say that?
You got it. He will have left. See? It's not so bad, right? Once you get the concept and that super simple formula, it's actually pretty straightforward. You're definitely getting the hang of this.
So when all is said and done, what's the big takeaway here? Just remember this. The future perfect is your secret weapon for talking about the future with precision and confidence. It's how you say, this isn't just a plan, this is something that will be done by a certain time.
And there you have it, our deep dive into the future perfect. So I'll leave you with one final question to think about for yourself. What new skill will you have mastered by the end of this year? Think about it, and then try using the tense to tell someone your plans. Thanks so much for joining me.